Morning everybody, Josh from SILCA here with, well, a bit of an exciting announcement, and if you're a little bit confused, I can understand why. We launched our secret chain lube about 2 months ago, and when I launched that, I said, you know, we had been using a hot melt version of this wax in Europe with Pro Tour teams, Olympics, World Championships, I mean, really successful product. And we had been doing that for quite a number of years before we figured out how to emulsify the wax into a liquid that you can drip onto the chain. And we said in that launch that the liquid wax was about 98% as effective as the hot melt wax and so much easier to use. And of course I should have known that, being the marginal gainers that you are, you pretty much immediately came back at us and said, well, what if we want the extra 2%? And so we had to get busy thinking of how we could productionize the hot melt wax version. And then we had this, I would say, incredibly exciting epiphany. I've talked a lot in my history about working in kitchens. And I went and grabbed a technology from cooking for what they call sous vide, which is essentially where you can vacuum seal meat or something and then cook it in like a sub-boiling water to get the temperatures just right. It's look it up, sous vide, it comes from the French. It's an amazing process. But I had this sort of epiphany that what if we could get the hot wax into a sous vide bag, so that if you had a crock pot or an Instant Pot that you're using to hot melt currently, you can keep doing that. But when we discovered this bag, this is made from what's called LLDPE. It's a high temperature sous vide food grade bag with the super secret wax pellets in it. And the beauty of this is not only can people with dedicated crock pots hot melt wax chains, but if you have any pot, you can now hot melt wax your chain at home. It is literally as simple as putting the bag in the pot of boiling water, opening it up, dropping the chain in, letting it melt, removing it from the heat, fishing the chain out to let it dry, and you're not dirtying or potentially ruining anything. This has been an absolute game changer, I think, for this segment. And what I really love about it, and this will get you really excited if you've got one of these bad boys, is that you can ultrasonically hot melt wax the chain. And what this really does, your ultrasonic cleaner here will go up to 80 degrees Celsius. That is enough to well, melt the wax. You put the chain in there, and then you can actually run an ultrasonic cycle, and the ultrasound will serve to drive the wax fully into the chain, so that you actually get an even slightly faster, slightly longer lasting wax out of this method than you would from the other two. So having said that, we can post some data and some other things. You know, the formulation of the super secret chain blend, as we're calling it, it's essentially super secret chain lube without the emulsification process done at the front end. We actually melt the laboratory grade paraffin, we mix the tungsten disulfide and a few other special little secret additives, and then we pelletize it into these little pellets so that we can pour it into the bag. 500 grams of wax per bag, available today. Please check out right here below me for the link on that. I think you are going to be as blown away by this product as hundreds of professional athletes, world and Olympic champions, and others have been. And even better, because it is in the same family, I mean, down to the molecular level, the super secret chain lube is the top-off lubricant for this wax. So, you know, I think traditionally you hot melt waxed, you got maybe 200, 300, 400 miles, and then you had to do it again. With our system, if you are topping off with super secret chain lube, you can add a pass of the super secret lube over a hot wax chain every 300 miles or so, and then only hot wax maybe every 1,000 miles. and you are going to see that dramatic increase in chain life, longevity, and you are also going to maintain these incredibly low friction values in your running chain. And my personal favorite, best of all, it is so silent. I mean, so silent. So those of you who've already tried Super Secret Chain Lube and left us reviews, that is probably the most often said thing in those reviews, which makes me so happy. You know how I am about a silent running bicycle. There you have it, Super Secret Chain Blend, the fastest hot melt wax in the world, and now the most convenient hot melt wax in the world, with multiple options for achieving the waxing of the chain. Thanks so much for listening, everybody, and we hope to see you soon.